Hey, this is the franchise Shane Douglas, ECW's original World Heavyweight Champion. Right now, you're watching the #1 wrestling podcast on all of Long Island, Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh. Monty and the Pharaoh.
To the Monty and Pharaoh Show.
And you're watching the Monty and Pharaoh Show.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
With Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
It's Monty and the Pharaoh.
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 Monty and Pharaoh.
It's Monty and the Pharaoh.
And Monty and the Pharaoh. Oh, is it Monty and the Pharaoh?
Monty and Pharaoh.
The Monty and the Pharaoh Show.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
To the Monty and the Pharaoh Show.
And it's Monty and the Pharaoh, baby.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
With Monty and the Pharaoh. Monty and the Pharaoh. Oh, what a run.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
Hey, cut music. When you want the best in professional wrestling, Long Island, there's only one place you're going to get it, right here.
Monty and the Pharaoh. Now, that's not just the coolest, and that's not just the best. That, my friends, is just incredible.
Monty and the Pharaoh.
You've got the future Hall of Famer, that rocker, Marty Jannetty, and MJ in the house, and I'm sitting here with two more future Hall of Famers, Monty and the Pharaoh. We're doing that stuff, and we're gonna rock it.
Straight to the top. We're living this life, not just dreaming it, we're doing it for real. Straight to the top. Working hard every day just to leave out that tower.
We are very excited to have none other than Buff Bagwell in the house. Yeah, baby.
Buff Daddy.
So, Buff, let's open up, man. You are a... First of all, you look great, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And I mean that in a manly way, by the way.
And I took it that way. I really did. It means a lot to me because, bro, what people really don't know is I have 9 surgeries the last 5 years.
Get out.
I had 5. I went in for hip replacement on my left hip.
Okay.
5 surgeries later, I'm about 9%, almost 100, but 5 of them on the left hip alone.
When did you start hitting the gas?
God, that was
In high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My sophomore year, I took Dianabol. It was like the big,
sure.
easy one.
That was the old school stuff, right?
Old school, So, but then at WCW, bro, it was tough because they were all over our.
Really?
Keep in mind, they called it. We randomly pick y'all.
Yeah, that's how Scott Steiner, you.
Randomly, it was always me, Scotty, Lex.
Right.
So, even though we could do a few things, right behind you is your test of life, and $750,000 at that stage is gambling right behind you right here.
So did you feel it necessary to keep hitting the gas, considering you had all that money on the line?
After we learned more about it, we would always, get jacked up, and you come off, and then you lose weight, and you get back jacked. It's called taking a cycle.
Yeah, cycling out. Yeah.
And this doctor came in and goes, y'all got it all mixed up. He goes, y'all got to figure out a way to take, low doses, moderate doses, and just stay on. And me and Steiner were like, yes, that's the answer I was looking for. So it made sense. It made more sense too, to just not kill ourselves and then come off. So we came to a moderate, dose, but at the same time, we finally had to go to Eric and say, Eric, you got to get these guys off for but they didn't, man. It was TBS. I never said I was tall. I said I was buff.
Yeah. Well,
I never claimed to be fucking tall.
Your name wasn't Tall Bagwell.
Yeah, I was taller. Yeah. My name was Buff. Every time I got into the building, if I didn't take my shirt off and walk in with my shirt off, somebody would be like,
What's up?
Are you sick? Well, then
Wow.
Sick?
yeah. But you take that shirt off, and they can see your abs, and then they're like,
Oh, that's
man, you look incredible, you know. When you put like me and Nash in the ring, the way the angle was,
Empire
I mean,
State
if he walked in this room right here, it would
hit the
just
ceiling.
blow your mind.
Yeah, I could
But
imagine.
for some reason, in the ring, it didn't look that different. It didn't look like he was.
Well, I
that
think
big
it's a
of-
credit to you too, right? You played big, right? So
Right.
A lot of today's
That's
wrestlers
absolutely.
have a lot of problem playing big.
Yes.
Like, could I possibly say maybe you love yourself a little bit?
What?
I absolutely love myself.
Hilarious.
kidding
Oh my
me?
God.
Bob,
Better.
I love
How could you
myself.
be the character if you don't believe
You got
this stuff?
to. You gotta love yourself.
Every morning, I roll.
And you know what? Everybody should love themselves.
I
first.
agree.
You know,
I
let's
agree.
go that
How
route.
about breaking in and tell us about Missy Hyatt?
I'm laying at the pool one day, and my first wife was stripping. Of course, we lived in Atlanta, and she was trying to pay the bills and keep us going, And I was at the pool one day, and I see this blonde. With
No,
big
you're married
boobs.
at 18 at this point. How old were you?
No, we were just dating. I was just dating. She ended up being my first wife, but
All
we were
right,
just
gotcha.
dating
I
at the time, apartments. And this is when Missy was just getting away from Hot Stuff, Eddie Gilbert, and they were fighting over my grill one night. Well, fast forward, go back. They're way across the pool, and Missy is talking to the girl. She goes, "Move me wherever the lives." The girl didn't know I had a girlfriend, and so I come back from the pool, and she's moving in across the hall, and I'm like, that's kind of weird, but still just over my head, no big deal. Well, that night she knocks on the door and tells them herself. She goes, "Today I saw your husband. We wasn't married yet. I didn't get married till 20." But she goes, "I saw your boyfriend at the pool," and she goes, "I was like, I didn't know he was dating anybody, and the girl didn't know I was dating nobody either, I guess." And so she moved in next door to me, directly across the hall. And she was like, "Won't you be a wrestler?" I said, "Those f***ing guys don't make f***ing money." And she goes, "Our lowest paid guy makes $100,000 a year." And I said, "Let's run that by me one more time."
That's great.
Run that by me one more
What
time.
company do you work for?
Right. So, but when at first I could give her the same old, I don't really watch it. I watch it as a kid, the same thing we've all been
Right.
told and said and all that.
Right.
And so, long story short, she got me set up to go down to, down in Griffin's where they had no power plant yet. There wasn't no school to go to yet. It was a ring. They had a hole in it like this. And Kevin Nash was in the ring. I mean, Kevin were friends because he was the big time bouncer in Atlanta. So I was a party boy, and
So it wasn't a stranger to you?
No.
Oh, that's good, because the first thing, if you're walking in for the first time, here's the first guy, Kevin Nash. I quit!
Yeah, well,
Anyway,
I see him. I see him
come
whisper.
on.
I see him whispering.
A redwood tree.
And Buddy Lee Parker, he says, he goes, "You're too small. You're too small."
Oh, here we go again.
And I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "I'm bigger than Brian Pillman." He goes, "Well, Brian Pillman can wrestle."
Oh, here we
And
go.
I said, "Well, how I can't?"
Look at you.
So there's $3,000 though. You had to go to school, and I said, "I ain't got $3,000. I don't have that money." So a guy named Steve the Brawler Lawler actually trained me, and he wrote off the Lawler gimmick because he kind of looked like Lawler, and he was pretty famous in the independent circuit, but he never made it big or anything. But great guy, trained me, which was about 3 times they made me the champ. So I learned by looking real stupid a bunch of times, and then you do that, you don't look stupid, much more. Yeah, that's the Missy thing. She got me into it, so she got me hired up with Steve the Brawler Lawler. He trained me, and then it was, there we go. But
Always natural in front of people. Any theater in school. I mean, come on.
Nah.
That's half the battle in pro wrestling. All of
Nah.
a sudden, the camera's on, and you're a natural. It's like,
yeah, dude, I've always been like that. It was my brothers are exact opposite. They're real quiet and shy. Then any camera came
Well, you
out, I
must
was
get a kick
bouncing
out of
in
you.
front of it, and always in front of the camera,
So now I know you were dating that girl, but with Missy Hyatt, any personal relationship with
None.
her at all?
Never, ever, ever.
Did she
But
take a piece of your action?
a bunch of my friends went out with her.
Okay.
So I set her up with a bunch of dudes of mine.
So you
friends.
passed, and then you just hooked her up with somebody else.
Yeah, it was just too close to home. It was literally 10 feet away.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's kind of.
But I literally one night I heard some commotion in the hallway, like the breezeway, and I come out. They're fighting over my grill. I got a gas grill. Bill Fralick was inside of the apartment, and I'm in a pink G-string with a 45 automatic, and I open the door. I go, "Get the off my grill!" And Eddie turns around, and I went, "Hey, Eddie, nice to meet you, man." 2 months later, we're in Global, and we got to wrestle each other. So I sit down with Eddie, and I go, "Hey, are we cool on the gun thing? Is that fast?" And so he was always cool, you know. But that was the Bill Fralick final episode of them two.
Wow.
How about your WCW debut against Mike Graham? Little thoughts on Mike?
Wow. You know what?
How about them apples?
Me and Mike didn't get along real good. It was up and down. Okay. Those guys considered me like, if I could do it, your Dundees, your Mike Grahams, and those guys still thought, well, a young kid can still do this, then, you know, we can too. And I remember locking up with him, and I grabbed him in a right headlock in Gainesville, Georgia Mountain Center. And I was like, well, what do I do from here? I've already got him in the wrong headlock.
But your thing with Mike, right? You guys kind of didn't get along, but he ended up becoming Office. Did he give you any problem?
He did. You know, like we'd go out, and I'd try to come up with a new cool move or something, and they'd be like, you know, well, why don't you just learn how to, you know, work? And they were big on, you know, learning how to work the arm and things like that, you know. And I was like, look, this is about selling tickets, you know.
Yeah, right.
This ain't about working somebody's arm or how good you can, you know, work a leg or work an arm, and we're trying to sell tickets, you know. And that's where Luger came, you know, had so much heat, you know. It was because he was the first big kind of bodybuilder guy, so he was hated, of course. But yeah, Mike, he was not a big fan of mine, and those guys, none of them were, you know, because I was just young, and they felt like they.
How'd you feel about Lex?
Oh, me and Lex were super tight, dude. Still are.
Is Lex's reputation unfair? Because he does get bashed quite a bit.
Lex was rough, man. He was rough. I mean, he was.
Okay.
But he is a completely different guy now, man. He really
I've seen
is.
that.
I mean, dude,
I've seen.
I mean, he really is. I mean, I'm talking about like physically, mentally, everything. I mean, he's Lawrence Fole.
Yeah, he's gone through a lot.
And I've never met Lawrence Fole. You know, it was always Lex. But I remember being in a gym one day waiting for him to work out. And this is when I was just Marcus Bagwell, I wasn't, you know, buff yet, and I was just waiting for him to work out, sitting on the couch, and he goes, he said, this guy from the inside the gym goes, "Hey Lex, how's it going?" And I went, and everybody just went like, because nobody talked to Lex, you know, everybody was too scared. Lex is stretching his leg, which we're not even doing legs, but he's stretching his hamstring. And the guy says it to him, and he looks behind him. Lex does like this. This is a guy that's paying a membership to train at Main Event Fitness at his gym. And he looks behind him and he goes, "Are you talking to me?" And the guy at this stage, everybody's kind of like this because everybody knows Lex better than this kid. And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "My friends call me Lex." He goes, "And you're not my friend."
Ooh.
I'm trying to get underneath the couch. I'm trying to hide,
Right?
Because I was that friendly, hey everybody, you know, and trying to be nice to everybody and all that stuff. So, you know, but Lex hated it. He just, I even told a guy got this pro card one time at his gym. His name was Pyam. Was the kid's name. And I told Lex about him, and he said, he looked over at him and he goes, "He's too short."
He's too short.
Yeah, this guy just got his pro card, pro bodybuilding card. Wow. And I said, "Hey Lex, easy bro." I said, "I ain't but about 5'10" or 5'11", you know. I mean, he looked at me and he went, "You're acceptable." That was Lex, bro.
Holy cow!
That was Lex.
Wow.
That was me and Lex were like this. I mean, I mean, for 5 years, it was he drove, I was in the passenger seat, cooler full of beer in the back seat with Liz behind me.
Nope.
You know, so that's when all that was going on, you know.
Right.
So did their relationship?
That went on, and then finally he had to go to Mach, you know, and just say, look, you know, here's the deal, you know, and he was straight up about
And
it.
Macho Man was all right with it.
He was cool with it, so that went on, you know.
But did you? So I don't know. The story goes right. Lex is kind of hooked on some
Yeah.
prescription.
We all were. We all
Right,
were.
and
dude,
Liz kind of like was just enamored by Lex. And do you feel that he kind of dragged her into that world?
No, by no means at all. Because I remember several times, even when we would like take a pain pill or something and have a beer, she would, you know, she'd take a half, or we'd give her, you know, a little something just hang with us, you know, whatever. But
Okay.
if you're a prima donna, pretty boy in this business, you're. If you're a prima donna, pretty boy, and you may knock somebody out, you're accepted.
There you go.
So that they saw me knock a guy out in Jacksonville, Florida, and the Nasty Boys counted him out to 10.
Oh, that's
from that point
that's
on.
hilarious. That's yeah.
From that point on.
You're out.
Yeah, from that point on.
That's great.
And I'd been in, they didn't know that the guy in the locker room sitting like this had been in jail more than everybody in the locker room. Had been in trouble more than everybody in the locker room put together.
Right.
Been in jail more than probably everybody in the locker room, but I had to act the Marcus Alexander Bagwell role.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna play something called Hit It or Quit It. Usually put it up on the screen there, but we'll look at my computer screen. So we're going to hit it or quit it. Buff.
Love it.
The idea behind this is we're going to show you some pictures.
Yeah.
Elaborate, have fun with it, and you know, we want to know if you'd hit it or quit it.
What do we got?
Here we go.
Oh my God.
My personal friend, Miss Alexa Bliss,
And close friend of
Yes.
Mike
a
Money.
close friend of mine,
That's a
WWE
That
diva.
is a definite hit it. I mean,
You
my
learned
God.
this twice
Do you
on
watch
that one, right?
today's?
Absolutely.
Do you watch
Okay.
today's wrestling at all?
I really do. I try to keep up with it, you know, but you know, a lot of it, it's like it takes so damn long to get. You know, WCW, we wrestled, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, man, it was
You feel like you're watching gymnastics
45
now?
minutes.
A little gymnastics nowadays?
Yeah,
or-
that, and it takes 45 minutes before there's a match.
Right.
You know, man, when we came out of, you know, Monday Night Nitro, within 5 minutes, there was a match in the ring and a pretty good one.
Right.
You know, I mean, it was
We had storylines. You had good wrestling.
good
right?
wrestling, you know. So I mean, and you know, and you got the 1, 2, 3s, no
pitter patter.
yeah, exactly, no, exactly.
But
you
the
know,
one
yeah.
thing WCW didn't have was Alexa Bliss. That's for sure.
No, well, see, keep in mind we had no girls.
Yeah.
Missy was the announcer,
Mm-hmm.
and Dustin's wife.
Yep. Terry.
Terry.
Yep.
Terry was in the York Foundation was the gimmick she was in with Terry Taylor. And to be totally honest with you, that's the only 2 girls I can remember
Macho brought in George later.
until that,
Right.
until
And
the George, and then
Alunda Blaze, who was Medusa in WCW.
yeah, and then we
right?
had Medusa, and we had Scary Sherry, and
Yeah. Wait a minute, but you had Keebler came in, right?
yeah,
And Tori
Keebler came
Wilson.
in. So,
yeah.
but at first, dude, there was
Nothing.
no
Right.
girls, you know, no TNA,
No
at all.
Fabulous Moolah, no nothing.
no, nothing.
All right,
But
next
that's
up.
hit it.
Next one. Mandy Rose. Good God.
Do I even got to
Good
answer that?
God Almighty.
Buff, insert stuff.
Let me ask you this. If you were doing gigolos and they said, hey, look, you have to do the episodes for free, but you get to be with Mandy Rose, would you have done it for free?
No. Come on, Buff.
No, man,
There
can't
you
get for
go,
free.
my man.
Come on,
But-
look at that, man.
That's pretty hot.
That holy cow. Even you,
According
Mr. Bagwell,
To this
with
day,
who you are.
Yeah, today I would.
Okay.
But when I was making what I was making back in WCW days, maybe not.
All right, so listen, Buff Bagwell in his 30s, you meet Mandy Rose. Are you intimidated?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, not intimidated, but I mean that's
Wait, in your
a
30s during the Nitro days?
Yeah, I was-
How could
yeah.
you be intimidated?
Dude, that's Mandy Rose,
Yeah,
man.
man.
You can't get much better than that.
During the late 90s?
That's a
Nia Jax, what do you thinking, pal?
that's a quit it.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
But she's not like most girls.
No,
Yeah, but quit it in
she's a lot
fat-
bigger than most.
Yeah, fat.
Buff, in the day, did you ever throw a fat girl something?
What?
No, but
Not again.
I wouldn't kick him out of the bed. I don't think it was because if you grabbed on to the good-looking girl at the beginning of the night,
Right.
you had to hang with her
Oh,
all
yeah.
night.
Yeah. Oh, there's
I like
always
to party. And then whoever hung and was kind of at the end hanging on.
Wait a minute.
That's who you
Did
kind
you
of
get
pick
that?
from.
Would you take care of my friend too, Buff?
Yeah, yeah,
man.
exactly.
That's rough.
Oh my God! All right, next up. All right, Brock Lesnar's wife.
Oh my gosh. I was with Mark Marrow
Okay, gotta hear
the
this. story.
day he met her.
Okay.
Was at a Quincy's in Jacksonville, Florida. And he sent a note over to her. Her name was Rena. I'm sure y'all know that.
Absolutely.
But she was an absolute nobody, never in the business. Her husband had died. And she was in Quincy's. And Mark Marrow made a little note and he said, you know, will you go out with me? Yes, no, maybe. And she sent maybe back, and that's how their relationship started. And it went all the way through the, you know, WWF and all that. And then it just kind of, you know.
Do you still speak with Mark?
Oh, yeah,
So
absolutely.
did he ever tell you the
He did-
story that when he found out she was having an affair with Lesnar?
No, it got a little nasty with, you know, some things getting put in bags. Like a pop.
Oh, nice.
There was some rumors like that, but that was, like I said, that was when wrestling. You got to realize WWF back then was PG. You know, we were G-rated, dude. So whoever got to Eric first could say like hell, damn, and maybe son of a bitch.
Right.
But if you didn't get to him first, then you couldn't. But it's hard to say, I'm gonna kick Goldberg's butt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna whip that butt.
I'm gonna
It's
get
just
you.
hard, you know. I'm gonna get you.
I'm gonna give him such a pinch.
Yeah.
There you go, Stooges.
That's like
So it was tough to be a G-rated program, but to be G-rated and still beat them for 80-something consecutive weeks, that was pretty.
Yeah.
pretty big.
monumental. But by the way, I just gotta tell you, me and the Pharaoh were rooting against you guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look, we're Northeasterners, right? We,
were
you know,
raised
we
in
grew up
course.
on this WWE
Yes,
stuff.
I
you
know, dude.
Look, we loved the show. We
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
loved the show, but there was a
That's
point
awesome.
when you guys were beating them so bad, we were getting angry about it.
Oh, dude, it actually started worrying us when he did the fake Nash and fake Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When
That
he
was
did
pretty
that,
bad.
we literally went,
That was pretty bad.
oh, we're going to put the WWF out of business.
Wow.
Right.
And we knew as the boys, we're high-fiving Eric, but really we're going, this ain't good.
Is it true that Bischoff was just totally focused on running them out of business?
Oh my God, it was just nothing but the straight. I mean, we were high-fiving every time the ratings came in. But keep in mind, we were high-fiving and really going, this ain't good. I mean,
Yeah, you're looking at the whole
anytime
picture.
Vince,
You're looking at the whole
anytime
picture,
Vince
right.
does a fake Nash and a fake Diesel and a fake
something's
Razor,
Yeah, something's wrong.
well, we knew something was bad and that wasn't good. And then the next thing you know, Vince owned us, you know?
Well, speaking of that, on Table for Three on the WWE Network, they have Shane on there, and he explains that day. Can you tell everybody what that day was like when Shane actually showed up?
Oh, I'll tell you exactly. I was there. We showed up late, of course, like always. But it was about $10 million worth of talent walking up. Goldberg, Nash, Hall, all of us walking up, and all of a sudden, we all at the same time see WWF trucks. And there's nothing that's going to be good about that. That's not good. So we all kind of split off to our people to go find out from our clique
What's up?
what's going on. Well, we didn't have no more than about 5 minutes of that before they go, hey, Shane McMahon's got a meeting in this room here. So there's 100 some odd wrestlers in a room with referees, everybody in this small little room. And he goes, I just want everybody to know that we own the company. He goes, we're going to keep some wrestlers, we're going to fire some wrestlers, we're going to keep some referees, we're going to fire some referees. He said, I just want everybody to know that, you know, that's the situation. We own the company. It was no more than 5 minutes long, and about half the people went like, you know. I remember looking over at Lex, and of course Lex is just.
He's like, I'm.
And about to cross it. And keep in mind, we were the World Tag Team Champions at the time, and we didn't make the first show. So I'm leaving to leave. Well, Lex comes running out, going, "Wait a minute, they got us in an interview." And I don't know if they showed that or not, but they did. Vince, if you remember, Vince named 5 guys.
You got a huge ovation from the crowd. I remember that
Cleveland.
to this day.
That was a WWF
What happened?
crowd. I don't know.
I don't get it.
And let me tell you something.
I don't get
All the top guys,
Huge ovation.
all the top guys said, if Vince McMahon said your name on TV, he goes,
Yeah.
you're him.
Yeah.
That was Luger's. People that had worked for him and Steiner's and
You
they go,
and Steiner
dude.
together too. I never
All right, I don't want to break this love connection here, but we're going to run through this thing here. All right, Sonny, real quick.
At one time, I hit it.
Realistic answer.
Did you hit it?
No, at one time I would have.
All right. Me too.
But she's
I'd hit it right now anyway. All right, Charlotte Flair.
She don't do a whole lot for me. She's a big chick. She looks good. But I'm into like smaller, chicks, because I'm not like a.
You don't need a.
I'm not
woman
Tower
that
of Power here.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I don't want her in high heels.
Slight Big Bird resemblance.
Yeah, a little big birdish.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
I've always thought
She's
that.
hot.
You're
She's
crazy,
hot, but
both
it's
of you.
just
Kamala, the
definitely-
Ugandan giant.
Stop it. Why is he?
I'm not saying you go that way, but you
No.
never know.
You never know, right?
Right.
But that'd be a quit it. Yeah.
Not even for a
Even if he
million.
shook his belly at you.
Next up,
Even the belly thing, maybe. Yeah.
Karma.
Stop
Right,
it.
Karma, right?
This is like.
Yeah. That's not even feasible.
She's on Glow right
It's
now on
not even
Netflix.
feasible.
That's not.
She's on
It's not even
Netflix. She's got
feasible.
some cash.
All
All
right.
right. All right. Come on now.
Come on now.
Oh, that's a hit it for sure. Yeah, she's tough. She's tough.
Better than Mandy Rose?
No.
Oh, stop.
Ah,
To
quit
the
it.
bird.
Yeah,
The bird,
that
right?
nose.
Can you see the seed? The
First
bird
thing I
seed?
do is got to do a nose job first before I'd ever hit that.
All right. Tori Wilson, but you know.
Oh yeah, Tori. She believe it or not, Billy Kidman was he him and her dated the most probably. And we just were blown away by that. But I went out with Billy a few times, and he can pull it.
Yeah.
So he's a
good-looking guy.
Yeah, but I mean, I never saw that in Billy Kidman.
It's the hair.
And we'd be out somewhere,
It's the
and there'd be more girls over talking to him. I was like,
Yeah, it's the hair.
I'm fucking Buff Bagwell here.
what's
Are you
going on
kidding me?
here?
You Kidman?
Billy Kidman? No, but he did a good job with that for sure.
Too Cold Scorpion.
Too cold.
Gonna hit it?
No, I can hit that.
Literally.
Yeah.
Finally.
Stop
Shawn
it.
Michaels.
God.
Is he hitting Shawn
With a
Michaels?
beard?
Without.
With the beard.
Wow.
Oh, it's so rough on my stuff.
It does, right? He's right. It's rough on my stuff.